Hello, beautiful audience. Let me guess, she walked away. Maybe you saw it coming, maybe it hit you out of nowhere. But now she's with someone else, and you're sitting there wondering, what just happened? You gave her your attention, your time, maybe even your heart, and now she's giving her energy to another man. That stings. No need to sugarcoat it. But listen carefully. This moment, this exact pain you're feeling, is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of something far more powerful. Because here's the brutal truth. If she left, let her. You don't fight for someone who doesn't see your value. You don't beg for a seat at a table you helped build. If she chose another man, your first move is not to chase. Your first move is to pause and reclaim your power. You see, in situations like this, most men react emotionally. They send long texts, demand closure, make grand gestures, thinking if they can just remind her of what they had, she'll come back. That's a trap, because chasing someone who walked away doesn't bring her back. It only confirms her choice. So here's what you do instead. You pull all that energy back into yourself. You stop focusing on what she's doing or who she's with, and you start focusing on the one thing you can control, you. This is where transformation begins. Not from a place of revenge, not to show her, but to rebuild, refine, and rise. Not to prove anything to her, but to become undeniable to yourself. Start with your mindset. Right now your thoughts might be spinning. Was I not good enough? What does he have that I don't? Could I have done something differently? Stop. That thinking is poison. It's noise meant to distract you from your power. The truth is, her choice wasn't about your worth, it was about her path. And her path doesn't define yours. Next, lock in your discipline. Get off social media, stop checking her story, stop asking mutual friends about her. Cut the emotional supply. Every time you look back, you slow your growth. So get back to your mission. Build your body. Sharpen your focus. Reconnect with your purpose. That's where your strength is, not in chasing, but in evolving. Now here's where it gets real. When a man stops giving his energy away and starts investing it into his own development, something changes. He becomes magnetic, not because he's trying to be, but because he's no longer seeking validation. He becomes a force and trust. People notice, she'll notice. Maybe not immediately, maybe not consciously, but deep down she'll feel it. But don't do this for her. Do it because the man you're becoming deserves this version of you. Do it because your life is bigger than one relationship, and because you're not defined by who chooses you, you're defined by who you choose to become. It's important to understand something about female psychology too. Sometimes when women choose another man, it's not always because they found someone better. Sometimes it's because they think you're too available, too nice, too predictable. When you always answer, always chase, always try to please, you lose your edge, you lose your mystery. And in many cases, that's what women actually crave. The unknown, the challenge, the man who holds his frame. By pulling back and standing tall in your power, you're no longer the man she thought she could walk away from so easily. You're now the man she has to think twice about. You're now the man who's no longer waiting, but working. So what do you do next? You stop chasing closure. You stop needing explanations. You stop telling yourself that love has to be earned through suffering, and instead you start becoming unavailable to anything that doesn't serve your peace. That means setting new standards, That means upgrading your life on every level, physically, mentally, financially, spiritually. It means walking into a room knowing you don't need anyone's attention to feel powerful. You are your own validation. And here's the irony. Once you do this, the world shifts. Suddenly, you're not the one being chosen. You're the one doing the choosing. Because you're not acting from lack, you're living from strength. Will she come back? Maybe, maybe not. But the point isn't her return. The point is that by then you won't need her to, because you'll have become the kind of man that even heartbreak couldn't break. So if you're still hurting, good. Use it. Let it burn through the old version of you and give birth to someone stronger, sharper, more grounded. This pain isn't here to ruin you. It's here to rebuild you. You see, there are two kinds of men in this world. The first kind gets rejected and stays stuck, bitter, resentful, emotionally dependent. The second kind, he gets rejected and becomes dangerous. Not in a toxic way, but in the way that he becomes so focused, so sharp, so self-possessed, that losing him becomes the real loss. Be that man. This chapter isn't about her. It's about you, about how you show up when things fall apart, about how you move forward with grace, strength, and unshakable confidence. She chose another man. Let her. Because now, you choose you. She walked away and picked someone else. That sinking feeling in your chest, that storm of questions spinning in your head, yeah, we've all been there. But listen closely. This isn't the end of your story. It's the moment that forces you to rise, level up, and become the man you were always meant to be. Because when she chose another man, that was your cue to choose yourself. The first thing you need to understand is that chasing someone who rejected you is not power, it's desperation. If she walked away, don't try to pull her back. When you chase, you lose value. Instead, the real move is to fall back, go quiet, and redirect your focus. That silence becomes your strength. It makes her wonder. It makes her second guess, and most importantly, it gives you your dignity back. Next, this is not the time to seek closure. You don't need an explanation to heal. Often closure is just an excuse to reopen wounds. When you stop searching for why she left and start focusing on how to rebuild, you reclaim your control. You stop asking why it happened, and you start preparing for what comes next. Then comes self-discipline. This is where most men fall apart. They spiral, stalking her social media, watching her stories, asking friends about her new guy. That's emotional suicide. Discipline means cutting the emotional supply line. No checking her updates, no reaching out, no reacting. Your energy must be guarded like gold, and right now, it belongs only to your growth. This is also the time to redefine your identity. Pain carves out new layers of who you are. If she left, ask yourself, who are you now? Not the man begging for attention, but the man building in silence. You hit the gym harder, you learn more, you invest in your purpose. You become someone who commands respect, not someone who waits around hoping to get it. Next, stop comparing yourself to the new guy. It doesn't matter if he's taller, richer, or better looking. That comparison is poison. He might have her attention now, but you're building something more important. Depth, stability, and self-respect. And those things don't fade. Focus on becoming so solid within yourself that no external situation can shake you. You must also learn to hold your emotional frame. That means not reacting. If she texts you, you don't jump. If she posts a picture with him, you don't flinch. You move like a king, calm, grounded, and focused on your empire. Your emotional stability is what makes you powerful. It's the quiet confidence that draws the right people toward you without saying a word. What many men don't realize is that distance makes you attractive again. When you stop chasing, she starts wondering. When you don't react, she starts noticing. When you're too busy improving yourself to even think about her, that's when curiosity creeps in. She may not admit it, but your silence will echo louder than any message you could send. Finally, understand this. Healing is not about revenge. It's not about becoming better just to prove her wrong. It's about choosing a new standard for yourself. It's about becoming the kind of man you respect. Not because she walked away, but because you finally stopped waiting for someone else to validate you. You became the man that even pain couldn't destroy. Now listen, if this message hit home, it's because you're not meant to stay broken. You're meant to become unstoppable. So don't just sit with this pain, use it, build with it, rise from it. And if you're ready to keep leveling up, hit that subscribe button right now, because this is where boys stop begging and men start building.